I really do need to invest in a mic. How should I put this? Should I do this? I don't know. Maybe do this. Maybe this. Guys, it's the night time, as you can see. I don't know if I'm gonna commit to this video, but we'll see. So I'm gonna give like a little life update. Is this better? Or maybe this? I don't want my face to like be too right, But I'm gonna give a little life update. I failed my first ever assignment in college a few days ago. So that was, humbling. That was a humbling experience. And, I've failed a lot academically in my life. But this was my first time in college, But I was never like really a good student. And middle school and high school, I failed 8th grade, like straight up failed it. I had to leave the school, and I was basically like kicked out of the school. My other option was repeating the year, and I was so scared. But I actually ended up repeating 2 years, but not for that reason. And I love that I can talk about this now. I was so ashamed of it for a while, but now it's like whatever. I made it in the end. But yeah, like during COVID, I decided to do like an online school, and I was enrolled in online classes, whatever, and I just would not do the work at all. And I ended up, having to repeat my last 2 years of high school, so that was that. So I failed a lot, and failing academically, it teaches you a lot. Obviously it sucks, it's not great, it's stressful, and it can make you I don't know, it can make you feel like there's something wrong with you, when there's not, and it's okay. It's just that the biggest thing about failing that I've learned, especially with academics, is that you choose to fail a lot of the time, or most of the time, because the system is so fixed. You have to do this to get this result, do this to get this result. Like everything is there for you, like everything is on your part, you know what I mean? Like all you have to do is follow what they tell you. So you can be the smartest person in the world, but not follow what the system says, and you're gonna fail. You can be the dumbest person in the world, but follow what the system says and you'll pass. So I feel like this philosophy that I came up with was that most people are capable, if not all people, are capable of doing well and succeeding academically, but life can come in the way, and you make the decision of how much work you want to put into something. So sometimes you decide that you're gonna not study, and and then you're gonna fail, and you can't complain because you didn't study. So I kind of just lived off of that mentality, and I was like, yeah, I'm okay with it. But now I'm a bit more serious. Now I'm I actually want to get through the years academically. I don't want to fail a whole year and have to repeat anymore, because because it's I don't need to do that. I'm capable of actually passing the year, and so I don't want to waste money. But obviously the system is flawed, the whole education system. I think I would say, in my experience, in Lebanon, it was very flawed, and even in America, I think it's flawed. I think it's flawed in most countries. But you know, so many things are flawed in the world, and like we can't fix everything, and we're never gonna live in a perfect world, so it's okay. I used to have this like dream that I wanted to like you know, change the school system or something, and maybe that dream is still there somewhere, but it's not so like, you know, like it's not so necessary, because like obviously education is so important, right? And that was why I really had this big dream of like, but you know, like you can't fix everything in the world, and you just have to live with how things are sometimes and accept that they're kind of terrible. So now my new philosophy is that like I'm gonna do the best I can, but yeah, sometimes I just end up, you know, like slacking, which is normal, but some people are able to not slack. Some people are able to have better discipline. I don't know like what the secret is to have better discipline, but it honestly just depends on a lot of things, like the kind of person that you are and how you were raised, and not just how you were raised, but also like, you know, the kind of mentality you have on life. Like I've met people who are very like perfectionist. They need to have everything perfect all the time, and I'm kind of the opposite. I'm very like, oh, we'll see how things go. Like I don't really plan things out very well or whatever, and sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. But yeah, I failed my first assignment. It was so I recently switched to an English major, and I'm taking 4 English classes at once, and it's not good. It's very overwhelming. I have so many essays. Like I already have 3 overdue essays. Overdue. The only reason they're overdue and I'm allowing it is because that class doesn't like give us a late penalty or whatever. So, but it's like, oh, like I'm procrastinating it so much, and I'm literally sat outside the library. Fuck, the train is coming. I'm sat outside the library trying to, like, with the intention of doing these assignments, like these 3 essays. But I'm out here doing this video. I'm gonna pause it because the train is coming. Guys, I'm too impatient, and I just want to talk, so the train might be, you know, very loud. So, just letting y'all know. So that happened, and it made me feel shitty. Like, it was like, damn, like, I failed. Like, I actually failed. And I was like, but it was such an easy assignment. Like, I wouldn't say it was easy, like nothing is really easy, but like it was like so dumb. Like I just decided, I made the decision, I was like, this is gonna be a shitty like assignment. Like I don't even want to review it because I can't like bear the embarrassment of how bad this is. But to me, I was struggling so much emotionally, and I really didn't want to do it. Like I procrastinated it so much to the point where like every day I would look at it and not know what to write. I wouldn't want to do it. And so I was like, I'm either going to submit a really shitty assignment or I'm not going to submit anything at all. So, you know, better to submit something than nothing at all. And a 57 is better than a 0. So that was my philosophy. But I, like, ain't no way would I go to the professor and be like, oh, can you fix my grade? Like, no, like I can't, like I don't have the right to say anything because I did that to myself. So like I'm very like this, like if you don't put in the work, then you know you're not gonna get the result that you wish for. Like you get exactly what you deserve, especially in these academic things, because they're very like based on like rules and stuff. So you know, you just have to like try to do better next time. And I do believe that I'm gonna have an academic comeback. I'm just genuinely like slacking right now. But yeah, I'm taking 4 English classes at once, and like it's terrible, you know, like it's genuinely affecting me mentally. like I don't recommend y'all do that. Definitely not in your second year of college. and it's okay to struggle academically. And I knew coming into it I was gonna struggle, I was gonna regret taking 4 English classes at once. And it's like nothing against that class that I, failed the assignment in, but sometimes, the classes you're taking together just don't really work together. So, but you live and you learn, I don't want to talk too much more about this. It's already been 10 minutes and I've been rambling about this one assignment. But if I were to give myself some advice, and like whoever is listening some advice about specifically this thing, is that let that motivate you. So instead of like letting it discourage you, which is, it can very easily do that, because like my professor, like for the whole session, she was like saying like, why, like, you guys shouldn't leave it till the last minute, you guys should break down the assignment sheet and really like pay attention to things. And like the whole time I felt like she was attacking me. But just know that like when professors like make these comments to you and stuff, it's not personal. Like they're doing their job, like that's what they're supposed to do. And try to use it as motivation. Like, you get knocked down, you gotta get back up, like, it sounds corny, but like you gotta say that shit to yourself. And yeah, like anyone can do it, so you might as well just suffer, put in the work, sacrifice phone time for a little bit, and you gotta do it. You really just gotta do it. But anyway, let's move on to another life update, another topic. So I don't even know, like, I really wish I could be one of those people who could like really share exactly what happened to them. Like I really wish I had the courage to do that, but my stupid ass gives my YouTube channel to everyone I know. Like I can't even share what happened because everybody has this fucking YouTube channel. And I know that they don't watch every video, but like just the fact that they have it is like, oh, I can't say certain things. But like basically sometimes in life things happen that are like so out of your control, and sometimes other people hurt you big time, like big time. And it's like, it's genuinely like them, it's on them, like, and it's like, and you sit there and you wonder like, what did I do? Like what did I do to have them like do this to me? You know what I mean? Like am I that terrible of a person that like they would just like ghost me or whatever? And it's like, what? Like so weird, right? And sometimes in life that happens, and you might cry about it a lot, but at the end of the day you're gonna reach a point where you're just gonna laugh about it. And there are days where like I'm laughing about it, and there are days where I'm crying about it. But it's like, what the fuck do you do, and like how the fuck do you deal with this shit? Like what is, like, nobody teaches you about these things, nobody warns you. One day it just happens and you feel like, oh, my heart hurts, like what the fuck? And like, oh, like nothing that anybody says can make it go away. And you talk to your friends and you're like, what the fuck happened? And they're like, yeah, it's part of life. And at that point, what I'm learning is that something that I put in my journal is that sometimes you really gotta hear all that corny shit. Like, these corny things that people say, like I don't even know how to say it at the top of my head, but it's like things like you have to sit with that sadness and it doesn't go away, you just learn to live with it, things like that. And it's so like difficult to hear it, and to accept it. And I don't even want to get into the nitty gritty, but like, all these corny things that like people say, sometimes they really do mean something in a certain moment in your life. And so you really gotta hear that corny shit. You really gotta like, I don't know, bro, like I don't know how to deal with it. I'm learning, and this has never happened to me before. It's so weird, like the story is so weird, and like it's slightly embarrassing on my part, but sometimes it happens. And like, we're all on this earth, this planet Earth. We're all in it, like we're all on it together. And you know, sometimes we're there for each other, and sometimes we really hurt each other. And like, why? And it sucks, but it's part of human nature. It's part of being humans. But the beautiful thing is that, like, you're always gonna have people there for you, like, and I'm so grateful that I've had so many people there for me. But sometimes you just want to fucking scream, and like, you just want to like put your head on the wall, and like, you know, and you want to just sometimes like you don't know what to do, like, with these emotions. But try to distract yourself. That's what I'm learning, is hang out with people. But you can't always hang out with people, and there's moments where you're gonna be there by yourself, quiet, like just with your thoughts, and that's the worst. Like, that is the hardest thing to deal with, when you're just sitting there by yourself, whether it's in your room or like outside or whatever, and you have nothing to do. It's hard. It's really fucking hard. And like, every time I'm sat by myself, like, and I just want to cry, like, but then the second that I'm distracted with something, it goes away. But it's like, it keeps coming back, and like, it hurts, and it fucking sucks. And honestly, I'm gonna give some advice as to things that I've been doing that have genuinely helped. And I'm gonna, like, they're not like, it's not, there's no magic what's it called, magic spell that makes it go away, but there's little things that you can do. So first of all, I don't know if you want to use this advice for specifically when somebody ghosts you, or like in general when some really shitty thing happens, but in my case it was somebody ghosting me. So first of all, you gotta accept it. Like, stop being in denial, like, they're gone. So that's number one, you know, accepting it, like, it's gone, you know, like, there's nothing you can do about it anymore. So at that point, you tell yourself, well, now I'm entering the stage 2, which is the stage of healing from this and recovering from this pain. So so you gotta, when you get into the stage of healing, that's when you have this whole like new mindset towards life and yourself. And the early days, you have to be so easy on yourself, so patient, you know, all that. Like, I love when I'm really, really sad, like when I hit rock bottom, because I tell myself, like, this is my time to be so kind to myself. I'm gonna reward myself. Like, bro, like, it's 9:50 and I just had a Pop-Tart, like, and like, you know, this has like 40 grams of sugar, and I'm probably not supposed to eat it right now, but like, you know, you gotta reward yourself with little things. And some people might call it stress eating, but like, no, like, not really. Like, it's just a small reward. Like, I like it. I was craving it and I had it. I love Pop-Tarts so much, bro. But anyway, reward yourself. Like, you know, I went to the health department, and like the health building or whatever, and I booked a therapy session. I made an appointment. Sorry, I don't know how to speak right now. But it's like I've been procrastinating that for so long, but now that I'm like hitting rock bottom, I'm like, yeah, maybe I should do this. And when I was there, you know, this is like a very small thing, but when I was there, I went to this room where they have like free snacks and stuff, and it's like a meditation room. I don't even know, but they have like a bunch of stuff, not just snacks, but like what's it called, hand lotion, and like chapstick, and like all these things. And I just took a bunch of stuff and because like, and it made me feel so like happy. Like, it was such a small thing that I did for myself, but I felt so good. And you know, I told myself this week I'm allowed to be late to class. I'm allowed to actually miss class. This is not the best advice, because that affects your grades, but I did actually miss class today. But it's genuinely because Listen, I don't have an excuse for it, but I missed class. Like, I've just been feeling so shitty, and I just wanted to miss class. And you know, being late, because that's okay. Like, that happens. So my limit for being late is 20 minutes. So I was there was yesterday I had 3 classes, and every single class I was exactly 20 minutes late, and it was just so funny to me. I'm sorry to my professors. I really love all of you, but you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Obviously don't let it be like a, you know, habit or anything, but like sometimes you just gotta be like, you know, like excuse yourself for, you know, doing these things that are maybe not so great, but like, you know, like self-care, like clean your room, and put some like calm music in the background. You know, I've noticed that these things really help, like cleaning your room, like doing house tasks, cooking a meal for yourself, doing your laundry, you know, all these things. And like sometimes when you're feeling shitty, like doing anything is gonna make you feel like shit. Like yesterday I was doing my laundry, and like and like my roommate had her laundry in the dryer, and I needed to use the dryer because I didn't have any clothes for training the next day, but I couldn't, and there was nothing I could do. And it's these moments that make you even more pissed off, but it's like there's nothing you can do about it. And so I hung out my clothes all over my room. Anyway, sometimes these things happen. Sometimes you cook a meal and it turns out like not great, but you eat it anyway. But you know, you just got to be really patient with yourself and do all these little things. And now let's really like talk about like the things that have really helped me. So I tried making a video about this earlier, and then I didn't want to post it because it didn't turn out good. But this is something that I said, and I genuinely believe in it. I always say like journal, or make a video to yourself, or record a voice memo, okay? And sometimes when people tell you that, you just want to punch them in the face, right? Like you're in the depths of your despair, and somebody's like, "Oh, you should journal." Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I know, and now I'm saying it, and it's like, what do you mean, Jenna? Like, what do you mean journal? Like, I can't even breathe because of how much this hurts. Like stop telling me like this corny shit. Like, journal, like, you know. And I know what you mean, like, and I get it. And when you're in that mentality, when you're so fucked up in your brain, you don't want to take anyone's advice. You don't want to hear anything from anyone. Every little thing that comes out of a person's mouth pisses you the fuck off. But here's the importance of journaling, or video, or voice memo. Let me tell you. Sometimes in your head, you're like, I know exactly what happened. I'm aware of the whole situation. So I don't need to put it into words. I don't need to tell myself what it is. You can talk to your friends about it. It's not the same as saying it to yourself. So you're like, I know exactly what happened. Why do I need to, you know, write it out? But let me tell you something. You can know exactly what happened, but then let's say you write it out. You're gonna write it from, you know, beginning to end. Sit there for as long as it takes. You know, if you don't want to do it in one sitting, do it in multiple sittings, but write out the whole thing, everything, and like in whichever way your thoughts come out. Like, you know, you can say it, and then you can have a thought about what you felt with the thing that happened. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just put everything out there and write it out, and you're gonna realize that the whole thing that happened is all said in like 15 pages of your journal, for example. And it's going to feel like so much smaller than what you've made it up in your head, because now you can visibly see it as 15 pages. And when it's a video or an audio to yourself, this happened to me. I recorded a voice memo to myself, saying the whole situation and how I felt about it from beginning to end, and it turned out to be a 30-minute audio. Now, you might be sitting here and be like, what the fuck? Like, 30 minutes is a long ass time to be talking to yourself, and like, you must be crazy or something, because that's not normal. And like, you know what? Like, it's fine. Like, we don't have to do normal things all the time. Like, sometimes we have to do crazy shit. Like, and these are the things that keep us sane. So yeah, I was sitting there in public talking to myself in my phone, but nobody gives a shit. Nobody knows what you're doing or saying, or what you're going through. Nobody gives a shit. So and if you feel self-conscious, if there's people around you, go somewhere where nobody can hear you. Like, this is for yourself. And I know 30 minutes seems like a long time, but when I actually can see that this whole thing that I'm going through, all this pain that I'm feeling is only 30 minutes, me seeing that time period, like that helps, because I'm like, oh, it's only 30 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you can put your finger on it now. It's something, like something that you can like pinpoint. It's not so blurry in your head and so big and weird. And it's just like when you put it all out there, everything you're ashamed of, all the little things that you weren't able to tell your friends about, all the things, you're gonna feel so relieved. And it's still going to hurt, but at that point, like, you've done the work. You've done some kind of work for yourself, with putting it all out there. So I feel like it just makes the process of healing better and easier. Sorry, I got a little passionate there. Ran out of breath while I was talking. But yeah, like, that really helped me. I did both. I journaled the whole thing, and I voice memoed the whole thing. And whenever I do a voice memo about what I'm going through, I always hear it back. Not right away, but at some point. And it was so funny. Today I was walking around campus and I was listening to the voice memo. And it's just like so funny because people expect me to be listening to music whenever I have my headphones on, and I'm actually just like listening to myself rambling. And it's so funny because, like, out of nowhere I'd be like, oh my god, there's people running and I want to be running with them. Like, I wasn't even like, being so serious, and it's just funny to hear yourself back. But anyway, what else? So today I realized, something that also helps is there's little things that you really need to pay attention to. So, I go to practice every single morning, pretty much, except for Saturdays. Except for Saturdays and Sundays, I kind of sleep in on weekends and, do my runs later in the day. But every day of the week, I'm waking up, 5:30 in the morning, 6 a.m. training, and it's been going really well for me, like running in general. I've been doing well, and every workout, like, after it, I feel amazing. I feel like life is amazing again, and it's so great that I have running in my life. It's been a love-hate relationship with running. There are times where I've hated it, there are times where I've loved it. I know a lot of people don't have it in their life, but I just feel like having a sport is like, it just so good. It's such a good thing. I don't know, even for people who tell themselves like, oh, but like, I'm not really athletic or anything, but it's just, even no matter what your fitness is, fuck the train, bro. I have no idea what I was saying. Like, I paused it, and I've been paused for like 5 minutes, so I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, training. I was talking about training. Oh yeah. No matter what level of fitness you're in, or like, just the idea of pushing your body to like physical exhaustion is so helpful for your mental health. And for some people who don't like run, for example, I'm gonna use running as an example, but it can be any sport. If you don't run and then one day you decide I'm gonna run, you're gonna reach your physical exhaustion at like 5 minutes of running. But then people, like, let's say somebody has been running for all their life, and then their physical exhaustion is something else. It's like, I wouldn't even put it in a distance. It's kind of like maybe a workout, or a tempo run, or whatever it is. It's gonna take them much longer to reach the physical exhaustion because their body has been used to running for so long. But either way, it benefits both equally, because both are able to reach that point of physical exhaustion, And so no matter what fitness level, just go out there and like try it out. It's just so fun, like, because sometimes like the pain of reality, like, you know, what's going on in your life, it hurts so much. And when you push your body to that extreme like physical exhaustion, you just, it makes it all go away. Like, I don't even know how to say it, but it's kind of like a way of expressing yourself. You're putting it all out there. Like, you know, there's so many times where I feel like I'm so dramatic because I'm like so angry and I start running so fast. But it's like, you know, in these moments I'm like, I'm so dramatic and I'm like such a main character right now, but like, that's fine. Like, sometimes you have to be dramatic and it does genuinely help. My phone is 20%. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to say everything I want to say, but basically what I want to say is that you have to pay attention to the little things, because like, bro, I might cry while I'm saying this, but it's hard when you're dealing with mental health issues and balancing a sport and school at the same time. But especially when it comes to running, despite how good it's been for me, there are times where like I'm there and I'm like, damn, like I'm not in a good mood. Like, maybe it's the beginning part when you haven't started your workout or something. And being a part of a team means that you're constantly, like, whenever you're running, you're with a bunch of people, and sometimes the people you're with, they're actually in a much different state than you are. You know, they're happy, they're talking, like, they're, you know, I wouldn't use the word happy, maybe like cheerful or whatever, and you're kind of just not in a good mood, and you start to feel like, you know, like, damn, like I feel like shit. So, and I've been feeling that for a while, but then there's little things that happen and it's just like, whoa, like, and some people, you know, some people that you meet in your life are so kind, and I don't know, you know, like how else to say it, but I've met certain people who have such a kind heart, and like I can sometimes like feel them, like, even if I don't know them very well, in the way that they speak and in the way that they are to you, like they have like genuine kindness. And that's why you really do need to be kind, obviously to yourself, but especially like to other people, because you really never know what somebody's going through, and like, you know how people say that, like, that's true. And so our coach, like, he said something to me, and like he was super kind to me, and it just made my whole day. Like, and like sometimes like that's all it takes. You're going through all of this shit in your head, it's like woo, and then you have like a single interaction with another human being, and it just changes your whole outlook on your life. And it's just like, I don't want to be like, you know, I don't want to exaggerate it, but genuinely, like, sometimes you have some kind of interaction with a person, and the fact that they have no idea what you're going through and they make you feel better is just so beautiful. And so pay attention to these little moments, and like, you know, really I don't know what's it called, like, really take it in, you know, like when somebody, you know, makes you feel better just without even knowing what you're going through, like really appreciate it as much as you can in whichever way you want to, whatever. But yeah, it does get easier, and I hate when people say that, because I'm like, I don't want to wait, like I want it to be easy right now. I wish I could skip this part and, you know, get to that point of it being easy, but, you know, life doesn't work that way. Some things that I've done that have helped, like some very specific things, like I went with my friend to Baskin Robbins, had ice cream at like 10 p.m, and that was just such a girlhood moment, and like she was there for me. And, you know, sometimes your friends are struggling too, so being there for them can help you in some way also. I don't know, having friends has just been the best thing ever. Like, I cannot express how amazing it is, because I have people here in America and I have people back home in Lebanon, and like they're all with me. like every single one of them. I have like 6 people I can talk to about it, at least 6 people. And it's just, they genuinely care. Like, it's not like, you know, like they're genuinely there for me, and it's just beautiful. Anyway, I don't know if I want to give another life update. That was a big one, and that was kind of like, you know, my intention of this video was actually to talk about this, because sometimes life really hurts, and you have so many like things that you have to deal with while you're hurting, and it's like, how the fuck do I do this? Like, how the fuck do people do this? And you really do have to take it easy, because the system, and I don't mean just the academic system, but everything, our society, the way it is, this capitalistic mindset, this capitalistic society, it's not, I forgot what the word is or how you say it, but I think the word is curated. Yeah, like it's not curated in a way that gives you room to like slow down when you're going through personal things. It doesn't allow you, like, your job doesn't have something, I mean, it depends, I don't know, but it doesn't have something for your mental health that tells you, like, if you're having like a bad day, or if you're going through something, you can take a day off. Like, realistically, these things don't exist, you know, because maybe people think that it can get out of hand and everybody's just not gonna, you know, work or not gonna go to school because they're just, with the excuse of like they're dealing with their mental health. And for so many people, it's so hard for them to use that as an excuse when it's genuinely such a real problem. Like, it's something so real that you go through, and sometimes it's so hard because you don't know how to put it into words, even to yourself. So the mere fact of saying it to somebody else feels impossible because you don't even know what it is. So that's why mental health awareness is so important, because it does affect us, and it sometimes feels impossible to do these, you know, things that we're expected to do when we're going through what we're going through. And like, that's why it's so hard to tell people, like there are days where I just want to tell my coach, like, I feel like shit and I don't want to go to practice, not because I don't like running, but because I genuinely, like, I don't feel like it. And it's so hard to say that, because it's like, in my head I'm like, but why am I so special? But you know, I'm like, everyone else on the team can use that excuse and just not go. Like, why am I special? But it's like, you have to let go of that mentality, because it's okay to be like going through something and use that as like a reason to not show up to a certain thing. And we need to stop, as humans, as a society, we need to stop imagining the extreme scenario of something. Like, if I don't go to work or to practice or to school for one day because I'm going through something, that doesn't mean that everybody's gonna do that, or like that I'm gonna do it all the time. Like, no. Like, obviously we need to do stuff, like we need to go to work, we need to go to school, we need to do all these things, and I think it's so wired in us that we're never gonna just stop doing it. So I think we need to stop being so afraid of speaking up about what we're going through. But yeah, I know that it's not easy at all, and that's why even as humans we need to be so much kinder to each other, you know. Like, you genuinely don't know what somebody's going through, and I just think yeah, I don't know, I don't want to make it too long. It's already too long. I don't know if I have any other life update. Let me think for a second. Obviously there's all these things that you have to do, like let yourself cry, let yourself scream. Maybe don't scream if you have roommates, but really sit with those feelings, really let yourself feel. I spent like 3 hours crying on the floor, and I felt amazing after. I really needed to cry. Like, sometimes crying is obviously like so helpful. And something that's helped me is like praying, or talking to God. But everybody has their own thing, and like, to me, that's helped. So it kind of calms me down a little bit. And yeah, just let yourself cry as much as you need to, and really try not to turn to bad things in these moments, because that's when you're in a bad state, and that's when you don't really have so much control over your emotions and your decisions. So don't go like doing all these bad things, because that is not the right time to do them. Obviously there's never a right time to do bad things like smoking or drinking or whatever, but I think it's better when you're in a healthy mental state to make the decision to like smoke or drink, rather than when you're in an unhealthy mental state, because that's when it turns into like a habit, an addiction, whatever. So try not to turn to these bad things. Just have this mentality of like, yup, life is fucking shitty right now and I have to fucking go through it. I can't do anything to skip it or to not feel it or whatever. Like it's fucking terrible right now. And you just gotta live with it for however long it takes. And just know deep down, this is making you a stronger person. This is teaching you so many things. You might not be able to see it right away, but one day you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, damn, like I needed to go through that. It fucking sucks, and sometimes it feels so slow in the moment, but you know, at some point it's gonna all go away and you're gonna get over it. But I feel like what I'm realizing in my life is that no matter what, you know, age you're at, there's always going to be some kind of concern that you have. Like sometimes I look back at when I was like 14 and 15 and I look back and I'm like, back then I didn't have these problems that I have now, but I had different problems. Our mind kind of needs to suffer. Like, you know, this whole philosophy with like, you know, pleasure and suffering, like we kind of need to suffer. It's just part of life. Like we need it. Like if you didn't have any concerns, you're gonna be bored. That's gonna be your concern. So there's always gonna be something that like is so shitty. Sometimes there's gonna be multiple things at once, but yeah, like making videos like this helps me as well. Doing things that fulfill your artistic pursuit, I guess, like having like a personal project, a little side hustle, doing something, working on something on your own, you know, write a book, or maybe try to write a script for a short film, or you know, occupy yourself with something that you've always wanted to do and take yourself seriously with that thing. That always helps. But that is one of the bigger things that I'm, you know, later on stages after you've accepted it and sat with yourself and all that. Go on long walks with yourself. I've done that recently and it's really helped. I don't recommend doing it at night, but I'm not gonna lie, doing it at night helps a lot. I just know that like as a woman that's probably not very safe. But the nighttime and walking just go hand in hand like this. Like they are so helpful for me. And what else did I want to say? You gotta touch some grass, you know? You gotta touch some grass. You gotta look at a tree and be like, that is just such a beautiful tree. And like, isn't it so beautiful how every tree has such different branches, and how even though it's like the same tree, and like even though they were planted in the same time and they're pretty much the same size, their branches are so different. And every single tree on this earth is different in some way. And I just think that's so beautiful. Like no tree is identical to the other, just like how no human is identical to another human. And it's just like life, wow, like life is so amazing. So sometimes you're going through so much shit that you forget that there's such a beautiful tree right within your eyesight. So you have to like take a breath and look around you and like, you know, really like really try to like you know, acknowledge and appreciate where you are in this present moment. You know, I'm telling you, you gotta be really corny. Like, that's the only way out. Like, you gotta be really corny. Make a therapy session, appointment type thing. I know that, like, not everybody has the money, not everybody can afford it. I've been there. The only reason I can go to therapy is because it's part of tuition. This is the, like, it's part of the sorry, I don't know how to speak. It's part of the university is what I'm saying. And yeah, like, I typically can't afford therapy, but I'm grateful that I can do this at least. And if you can't afford therapy, you know, do all these other things that I mentioned, I guess. I genuinely think therapy should be free, and that's another one of my life dreams, is to make therapy free. But anyway, I can honestly just ramble for a really long time, and I always feel like I have more to say. If you fail an assignment, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you have to fail every other assignment. No. If you miss a class, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you have to miss every other class. No. If you feel like shit and it's completely out of your control and somebody did you so dirty, you gotta accept it. You gotta I said grieve, but like, genuinely it feels like grieving, but you gotta really, like, sit with those feelings and live with it, and, you know, be patient on yourself and all that. Yeah. Really appreciate the little things as well. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching.